you tell me what happened today? What is today in the New York UCB improv world?
So today is probably the most high-stakes, nerve-wracking day in the improv world. And I woke up and like everyone's asking me like, how did online, like how did it go? And I was like, pretty good. I felt good about it. And then like as I'm having this conversation with like 3 different people, I got a phone call from Anthony, and he's like, it was a number I didn't recognize on the phone. I was like, there's no other call this can be at this time on this day. I originally moved to New York with the intent to do comedy, whatever that means. I still don't 100% know what I mean by that. I think from a very young age, comedy was really important to me. I was a kid, like, remember those terrible joke books with like 101 school jokes and that kind of stuff? I think I knew every joke in every single one of those. I was a big Calvin and Hobbes fan, like Far Side, those cartoons all the time. And I really liked jokes. I liked things that were really silly. And as I got older, it was a lot of sketch comedy. Got really into like Monty Python when I was in middle school, which I feel like every comedy nerd has that phase where like these guys are the best, and like they're still one of my favorite groups. I like to think of improv as like track and field, where it's not always super glamorous, but if you're good at track and field, you are inevitably going to be talented at a lot of other sports. Like somebody who can run really fast is going to be good at like soccer and baseball. Like that's a fact. And I think if you're good at improv, you will innately have the skills already to be good at sketch, to be good at stand-up, to be good at, comedic acting. Like, I think it's extremely useful in all other areas of comedy. That's how I feel about it at this point. I'm a member of Thank You Robot, an indie team that's been around here in New York for just over 4 years now. And people are like, how have you guys stayed together so long? And I say, well, step 1 is meet a bunch of random strangers who become your best friends. And step 2 is if you can accomplish step 1, there is no step 2. If you can pull that off, you've done it.
I will give all of my dollars to that pizza.
It's here already.
The pizza's here.
Wait, something's wrong with that commitment smart. It should be commitment smart.
It's a connection lost.
Turn it off and turn it back on again. The batteries are low on it.
What?
Be cool.
Hey man, have another BLL, okay?
There is an origin story for Thank You Robot. I think I am actually the genesis of the name Thank You Robot. We were doing a scene, fancy women at a WNBA game. And we were in like a luxury box, and John Robert was a robot that kept coming out and like giving us manicures and like handing us drinks and things. I think I turned to him and just went, "Thank you, robot." And everybody thought that was so funny. Afterwards, they're like, that's our name, Thank You Robot. And I was like, really? We're sure on that one, guys? But it's grown on me, and I like the name now, and I like that I was one of the newer people in the group at that point. So I was like, we want my name? Okay, all right. So yeah, that was the story of Thank You Robot. I brought this wine Chris's dad gave us at our last anniversary show, and we didn't, because it was at Seth in my apartment, and we didn't drink it because we were like, we should have all 5 of us and we're gonna drink it.
That's right. You tell your stepson that it's time to get the fuck out of the house.
I feel like everybody who's on an indie improv team is thinking at least a little bit in their mind. They're like, man, one day I'm gonna be on that house team, getting all that sweet house team money and all that. It's a lot of sort of self-denial, but then also self-realization that like, even if there's tons of people who are great at improv who are not on house teams. It's just there's a limited number of slots and so many talented people. It's never going to work out. There's always going to be disappointment in that process. Didn't get called back the second year Got called back the third year. My callback was terrible. Fourth year, got called back. Callback was good, not great. And then this year, got called back when I didn't think I deserved to be called back. But then my callback was like, I was like, okay, that was it. If it was going to happen, that was it. And that was it. So I was as surprised and delighted as anyone.
Let's bring out the first Herald team. Very good kid!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are Very Good Kiss. We're going to do a Herald for you. All we need is a suggestion of anything at all.
Dynamite.
I heard dynamite. Thank you.
It was a little bittersweet in a way where it was like, oh, now, like the bits in the Thank You Robot email chain started immediately of like, oh, you're still talking to us now? You're on announcing? It's like, all right, I get it.
Take it to the sky, then literally sky's the limit, right? There's so much space up there. That's why I designed a house that floats. And we gotta just find someone to invent a way to float stuff.
I'm going to consider that a pretty bedrock problem to the construction.
And I walked in and the girl's like, do you have your ticket? And I was like, no, I'm in the show. And she's like, which show? And I'm like, this one, Harold Night, I'm on Harold Night. And she's like, oh, and I was like, I'm new, like, don't worry about it, like, don't worry about it. But she looked super embarrassed, and I was like, well, that's it, right? You know, it's like, you made Harold Night, but you're still really nobody, you know? So yeah, like, even in my glory, still, it's, you know, it's improv. People care this much, and they will never care this much, you know?
We're going to take a quick 5-minute intermission, so go to the bar, go to the bathroom. We'll be back with more Herald Night.